Although I am involved with CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada, the views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the participants and do not reflect those of CADAC. And now, cue the music.
This is the Impulsive Thinker Podcast, a show for high-achieving ADHD entrepreneurs. Together, we will inform and educate you about how to improve your self-awareness while developing systems, routines, and habits for conquering the entrepreneurial world. Here is your host, Andre Brisson.
Hey there, it's Andre here with another short for the Impulsive Thinker Podcast, the podcast for the high-achieving ADHD entrepreneur. This episode is brought to you by CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada. You can get more information and you can donate at www.cadddac.ca. I was reminiscing on the conversation I had this week with Cameron Gott, where we talked about his ADHD hierarchy of needs. It was a hierarchy model that he created basically off Maslow's, but in an ADHD context. And it really intrigued me. And I thought the conversation would go a certain way, but it really went a lot about the defining and the definition of needs, and how needs make functioning sustainable. And if those needs are not addressed, then a stressor is created. And a lot of times those needs operate in the background and it's not in our foreground. And normally as entrepreneurs, we always go and get help on a pain point. We always focus on the pain point, but not necessarily on our needs, was another point that he made, and the needs not being met. And what really got me thinking is along that lines of when needs are not met, that's when people get disengaged. And I'm going with the scenario, and this scenario I got going with the engineering company is, I was wondering what was going on. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but talking with Cameron, that I have a couple that's starting to get disengaged. They want to be there. I know they want to be there. They like the stuff we're doing, but they're starting to get disengaged. And the leadership that is being provided right now is not meeting the needs of the team. And I was really struggling how I was going to fix this, because I was hoping that someone else would be able to take the leadership role and do it. And it's not his strength. It's not his unique ability. So we just got to rearrange his role. But how am I going to fix this? This was going to be the biggest struggle I was going to have, is how am I going to fix this? And we're talking with Cameron is now I'm going to have a conversation with everyone and learn what their needs are to work there. And it's not what interests you. What am I going to keep you? And him saying disengaged people don't have their needs met. And we do not ask about people's needs. We never look for people's needs. The whole mantra and the whole, whatever everyone's doing or saying, the new trend, the new moniker, the new, the crappy word of the day or the week or the month here. And the other thing that Cameron said that really struck home and sucker punched me and then kicked me a couple more times afterwards was what he said was values are aspirational. They don't actualize until you fortify your needs. So in effect, you need to have your needs figured out, sorted out in order to have values, and values are aspirational. That was a big thing. So usually what would have happened as leaders, we always say, well, what are the values? What are your values, team member? Let's try and meet those values and achieve those. But if they're aspirational and they can only be fortified with needs, as leaders, we need to be concentrating on the needs of our team. Yes, strength building, identifying their talents, trying to delegate and structure their work to meet their strengths and their abilities is one thing. And I think I've been blind a little bit that was the only way to do it. But I think what we also got to do as leaders is trying to identify those needs of our team members. And once we identify those needs, and I think we have a better roadmap or a better way to drive the boat or steer the boat towards their values. So values, needs is the base, values is the next level. So if we can identify the needs, and just like Cameron was saying, for us to stay at a level in the hierarchy, the lower levels have to be fortified to a certain degree that we can stay up there, or we just bounce up and down. I think our needs. And that's one thing I've been struggling with the last few years. I thought it was what's my worth, my purpose, which also means what are my values. But in the end, what are my needs? Are they being met? And honestly, having it in that regards, in that statement, no, my needs are not met right now. That's my biggest struggle. I was trying to look for something else somewhere else at the self-actualization level, but I don't have the esteem level yet. The belongingness and love is not quite there yet. The support's not there, and my safety net isn't there. And at the same time, that means I'm ignoring. I got to start exercising again because I'm ignoring my needs. So what needs do I need? Well, that's kind of weird to say, but I'm going to have to write that down. What are my needs to get fulfillment? And what do my team need? So as leaders, I think I want to throw this out to you. As leaders, do you know the needs of your team members? And I think we've got to start identifying and sourcing out your team members' needs so we can fulfill those first in order they can derive and then work in their values. And it then works into your values. And that way we can have less disengagement because their needs are met. And what are they? And how can I figure that out? Well, for me, that's what I got to think about and ponder on right now. But I just stopped recording with Cam about 15 minutes ago, and I've been canoodling this, but this is what I need to do. But my point to you, as leaders, as founders, as the entrepreneur, you need to understand your needs first, because like Cameron said, our needs are in the background. We never really think of them up front, and we should. And at the same time, to reduce disengagement of our team members, we need to identify and support their needs. That way we got an engaged team, we have an engaged company, and then they can join in the company core values. And your core values are, I just repeated core values, but end of the road, end of the line here right now. As a leader, concentrate on the needs of your team. Start there first. Because that's been the root of the challenges I've been having with engineering lately. And it's been 5 years because I have been neglecting my needs and also the needs of the team. And I've been trying to fix another problem, which is about 4 levels away from needs. So I really appreciate Cameron coming on and talking about this. And I'm glad we went on this tangent about needs because this has brought clarity to me. I hope this episode brought clarity to you because I don't know if I did. I seem to be going all over the place on this, but this is usually when I get befuddled like this is a big thing, a big thing I think we all need to think about. And if you got any more insights about this, please let me know. Send me an email, andre@andreb.ca. It would be greatly appreciated. Talk to you soon. And remember, identify your team members' needs first, and we'll probably have a really good engaged team. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Impulsive Thinker podcast. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for the show, please visit theimpulsivethinker.com. The Impulsive Thinker podcast is produced by Tactical Breakthroughs and hosted by Andre Brisson. Remember, ADHD is only a part of you, not all of you.